What up, though? It's your girl Hollywood Hoskins, and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, comment, and turn on those notifications. So, today I am bringing you a brains and business video. So, typically I go over beauty, brains, business, how we can have it all kind of deal. And today it's a business and brains video. So, I'm going to talk to you about what we call house hacking. All right. So we own a beautiful 5 bedroom, 4 bathroom house with a pool, jacuzzi, in a very nice neighborhood. And we were able to purchase this house by a long history of real estate purchases and collaborations and consolidations. And we were able to purchase this home at a pretty young age for our family. And so, what we do now is we Airbnb our house out. Yes, our house that our family of 6 lives in, we Airbnb it out. So we have a long history with Airbnb. We've owned 7 Airbnbs over the last 5 years. We've done really well with Airbnb, but this is the first time we've ever Airbnb'd out our personal home. One of the questions that we get, of course, all the time is, but you live there. Oh my God, what about your stuff? And I'm like, I don't think people truly gauge how much stuff you have. I think we just are intimidated by people being in our personal space and we just don't want that. But I don't think we really recognize we ain't got that much stuff. I ain't Beyonce. I don't have no ton of valuable things. I'm not super into name brands and that kind of thing. So I don't have a ton of that kind of stuff. But we do have some quirky little things around our house that are specific because we Airbnb. So our garage has a deadbolt on the outside. So when we leave out the house and we close the door down behind us, the door that goes into the house has a deadbolt lock on it that when we leave out the door, we're able to lock it. So that way, you're not able to get into the garage from inside the house. And so any extra stuff that we need to store, we tend to put it into the garage and lock it up. And so we try and keep that to a minimal, though. Also, all of our closet doors have keys to them, which is another quirky little thing that you wouldn't normally see as well. So any like shoes or purses or little trinkets that we need to lock up, we put inside of our closets. Now, with that also being said, our Airbnb is not the cheapest Airbnb. It will run you anywhere from about $750 to $1,000 a night to rent our house. So I'll be honest, the people who are renting our house are not typically people who are looking to steal your J's and to take your purse. Like, that's just not typically who is staying there. And also because we consider ourselves hybrid millennials, meaning we've got a little bit of old school and a whole lot of new school. That type of stuff just isn't fearful to us. We've stayed in Airbnbs where we've stayed there and the owner is still there in the next room and they're a complete stranger. And we've been okay. So I think that if Airbnb is unfamiliar to you, then of course it can feel very scary and intimidating, but it's a very familiar platform to us. And we've always had great experiences with it. So we weren't fearful of that. There's some other added bonuses that I feel like are non-monetary, but they are worth mentioning. So what ends up happening is, one, it requires us to be slightly minimalist in the sense that we don't have a lot of clutter at our house. So we only rent our house out 4 nights a month. So you're able to get one of the weekends, and we only rent out 2 weekends. So 2 nights, 2 weekends, 4 nights total for the whole month. And so it's typically every other week. So those in between weeks, we tend to stay clean. We don't clutter up the house. And we have a family of 6, y'all, okay? 6. So it's a lot of us. And so it requires everybody to pitch in and make sure that the house stays clean. We do have a housekeeper that comes every other week. And then once a month, she does a deep clean. And then we have the carpet cleaners that come and clean the carpet every month. So we have a couple of vendors on staff as well that help us make sure that we're only getting 5-star reviews. But I feel like that's also a benefit to us, is that those services are covered. So in addition to our Airbnb costs covering our mortgage, it also covers all of the cleaning costs, and it also covers wherever we're going. So I get a lot of questions about, well, where do you go when you Airbnb your house out? So my mom stays in Grand Rapids. Sometimes we go and visit our parents. It's a great excuse to pile up in the car and go and visit grandparents. So we'll go and visit our parents. This past week, we were in the Caribbean, so the whole family went on a cruise. And so we did that this past week. So sometimes we'll go on vacation. Sometimes we'll go on a staycation. So we've also rented hotels. So if our home rents for $850 to $1,000 a night, we might stay in a hotel that's $200 a night, and do a little mini staycation as well. So we flexed it in different ways, but wherever we go, we tend to all be together. Sometimes the kids will go with their friends or go over cousin's house, or that kind of thing, and it'll be just me and my husband. So sometimes it's an awesome way that we're required to go and be with each other in some sort of way, which I really love that non-monetary benefit, in my opinion. Um, so so anytime I'm at my desk, that typically means I'm on my computer. So I want to make sure that I'm giving you factual information. So for January alone, for January of this year, we pulled in just under $3,000 after renting our house out for 4 nights. And for February, we only have it rented out for 3 nights, which that was a fluke because typically you're required to do 2 nights, but it's front loaded. The first night is more expensive and the second night is cheaper. And so I just let it fly. It's a shorter month. They wanted it for the one night for a girls' night, so whatever. And so for February, we're slated to pull in $2,300. And that's for 3 nights. And so, like I said, it pays our mortgage, it pays for whatever we're gonna do, it pays for the cleaning stuff, and sometimes we also make a profit on those months where we rent out for 4 nights total. We tend to also make a profit on top of that as well. And in the summertime, it's a whole lot different because we make $1,000 a night because of the pool. We also add our home onto some other smaller sites for smaller rentals. So, like Peerspace is great if maybe you don't have a whole home that you want to rent out, or maybe you don't feel comfortable doing the whole home kind of thing. You have a lot of content creators that are looking for spaces that are just different from where they normally are, film sets, people who want to shoot in a home type of environment. So Peerspace is great for smaller, simpler, easier style rentals. Swimply. So our pool is on Swimply. In the summertime, not only are we able to rent our house out, but we're also able to rent our pool out. So I have a saying in our house, there should be not one asset that we are not able to make money on. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to make money on all of them, because sometimes the inconvenience is just there, and sometimes we just want our stuff to be our stuff, which is fine. But there should not be any assets that we have that we cannot make money off of if we wanted to. So when I went through the whole argument of getting a jacuzzi and a hot tub because it was a very large expense, the argument was, we're going to make money off of this. So we can get it because we will make money off of it. So my background is real estate and finance. So oftentimes there isn't an argument in the house that I can't win when it comes to money, because my brain just thinks in a matter of how can this investment return back money to me? How can I get a return on my investment? So that tends to be my train of thought on any purchase, on any investment that I do. including our home. Our home, I'm gonna do a whole nother video as well on how we ended up in this house, this very, very nice house at a very young age, and how we were able to put $100,000 cash down on this house at our age. Um, so real estate has been really great to us. It is one of the biggest and best assets that you can have right now. The real estate market is wild and crazy, but you can always find some sort of gap to exploit. I'm going to show you in 2019. So 2019 was the last time that we Airbnb. The pandemic slowed us down quite a bit because we were at home majority of the time. We didn't do a lot of traveling. We didn't do a lot of moving and shaking around because of the pandemic. And so 2019 was the last full year that we really Airbnb. And in 2019, we made $17,000. On average, we were making about $1,400 to $1,500 a month. There were a couple months where we didn't Airbnb at all, but in 2019, we made $17,000. So we're already on track this year to make almost double that. And so Airbnb has been really good to us. I definitely recommend it. I'm going to show you guys some of the little stuff that we do to get prepped, to get ready for our Airbnb guests. We have nothing but 5-star reviews. And sometimes people leave us tips. We meet really cool, awesome people. So again, for us and our family, it works. It's a great resource for us. So if you've got questions, drop them in the chat box and let me know. This is Dakisha from Creativity Cleaning. She is awesome. She is helping us get our Airbnb together, our over 3,000 square foot home. She's coming in and getting it all cleaned up for us so that our guests can have a great experience. Okay, so it's our first time walking in from our very first house hack. And we had a bunch of hockey guys stay with us. And outside of the linen, for the most part, the house is pretty much spotless. So they left it in really great shape. So this was the kitchen. That was the only mess they left there. They cleaned up after themselves. They even folded covers and stuff. So far, not too bad. And they left a pretty nice tip.